Look at this funky bubble wrap. Pretty crazy. So EasySMX sent me another controller to review for you guys that apparently works for the Switch as well as the PS3, Android devices, Windows, tablets. There seems to be a black only version and a nice colorful version. And there's apparently a rocker fine tuning, rocker sensitive rotation, and lightning change direction. I have no idea what that means. So using the little pull tab here, and you kind of have to push this middle part out. And then here's the nice colorful controller in a bag. And on the other side, in a little zip bag, is the wireless plug-in USB receiver. Plug in for the wireless signal, and it has a red LED light. Here it comes with a USB Type-C cable. It is very glossy, wow. So the color is printed very nicely on here. You know when you drop like food coloring dye into liquid and the color like starts to spread around the fluid? That's what it kind of looks like, and it's all different colors. Glossy to the max. It feels just like a standard size controller. It kind of reminds me of an Xbox 360. Nice, very smooth joysticks. These joysticks feel very nice. Wow, the joystick click is actually not clunky. It actually feels pretty legit. It feels like an official controller joystick click. Because some cheap third-party joystick clicks are like very loud and clunky. But no, these are nice and soft. And here's the D-pad on the bottom left. Feels alright. Back, turbo, a mode button, and a start button, as well as a home button. Whoa. So the home button woke up the controller, and there's a single LED ring around the right joystick. The left one does not have any. And the A, X, Y, B buttons light up as well. That actually looks very cool. And on the back here, there's just a standard like imprinted hard plastic grip. It is not rubber at all. You actually have 4 buttons in the back. So there's M1, M2, M3, and M4. So you could push it up like that or to the side like that. I could tell you right now, hitting M4 and M3 feels natural and comfortable. Hitting M1 and 2 is a bit awkward feeling. The left and right bumper and the left and right triggers, as well as a USB Type-C and some sort of mount, it looks like. A, B, X, Y buttons feel really cheap and they don't feel that nice. And I feel like I have to put too much pressure in order to get the snappy click. It just feels hard and clunky, and it doesn't really feel like quality. It feels really cheap. Quickly showing the manual, it just shows the languages, a quick overview of all of the buttons, some quick specs including a 600 milliamp battery, instructions to connect to PC, to connect to Android, connecting to Switch, connecting to the PS3, a turbo button setting, how to customize the bumper buttons on the back and how to clear the settings, and then some frequently asked questions, and then it starts the next language. So when you plug the USB-C in, you can see a red light appear on the top of the port to tell you that it's charging. And when it's done charging, the light turns off. So because this controller requires the receiver to work, you have to plug the dongle into the Switch dock. Then once you hold the home button and the controller turns on, it automatically syncs with the dongle, and you can see the flashing light glow solid red to show you it's connected. So on the Nintendo Switch, you have to go to System Settings, and then you have to go to Controllers and Sensors. Then you have to go to Pro Controller Wired Communication, and you actually have to turn this on. So now that it's on, it tells the Switch to look at the USB ports, and since that is on, the controller now works. And then if you find the controller is connected to second player, you just go to controllers, change grip order, and then you hit L and R on the top to make it player 1 again. Another thing to keep in mind, this controller follows the Xbox layout. So the AB is flipped, here it's BA, and XY is flipped, here is YX. So it could get confusing when a game tells you to hit B, it means you have to hit A on the controller instead. Like in Fortnite here, it says B to jump, but you'll see when I hit A, I jump. So right off the bat, I find the joysticks are slightly too sensitive. So you might have to tone down the sensitivity in game to get it to a more comfortable speed. The triggers actually feel very nice. The left and right bumper is okay. It's not the best feel, but it's also not the worst. I've felt a lot worse bumpers. So there's a rumble button. When you click on it, the controller increases its vibration strength and then it turns off. So there's 4 levels plus completely off. The other button is the LED backlight button. So you can see it's off right now. Then you can turn it to low, medium, high, and then like extra high. So for the Switch, the home button acts like the home button. The start button and back button acts like they do. Turbo button is the screen capture button. Mode button doesn't really do anything for the Switch. So M4 here is equal to the Y key. So you can see I'm switching my weapons. You can see I switch my weapons just by hitting the back. And then M2 is the same as the button on the right, switching between build. So M1 is the same as the bottom. So M1, you can see that I start jumping. In this game, the left key here is reload. So you can hit M3 and you can see your character reloads. So you can hear these buttons here, like if you keep pressing them to jump or you keep pressing to reload, it's really loud and very clunky feeling. If you get used to playing the game this way, you don't ever have to take your thumb off the right joystick, and then you can just kill yourself without having to hit any of these keys. It does get very confusing when you see like hit A to start there on screen, but when you hit it, it doesn't because A is actually B because the letters are flipped. So those are the problems you have to deal with if you decide to use this controller for the Nintendo Switch. The other problem is that this controller only works for the Switch if it's in the dock connected to the receiver. You can see here, once I take the Switch out of the dock, none of the keys work because the controller is not Bluetooth, so it doesn't connect directly to the Switch. But what if you want to use the controller now on a PS3? You can just plug it to one of the USB ports in the front, then turn on the controller, it will connect to the dongle, and you instantly have a working PS3 controller. So playing on the PS3, I once again find the sensitivity is slightly a little too high. So you're going to have to once again lower the sensitivity inside the game. Everything feels good clicking all of the keys. Only the ABXY keys here again just feel clunky. But I actually kind of prefer just using the back keys instead. Instead of hitting Y on top to jump, I can just hit the back key. I can do my melee. I can search and reload my weapon. So overall, I have the same good and bad with the controller. I like the joysticks and all the triggers, but the ABXY buttons are clunky and don't feel that nice. You'll see here that I'm able to jump, melee, and reload my weapon without having to remove my thumb and hit the face buttons, because I do prefer just using the 4 buttons on the back. The vibration is actually a bit too much when it's on the max setting, so I'm just gonna put it on either low or medium. So yeah, the controller works, and I would say the biggest pro to this controller is that it is compatible with the PS3, and it's a way to play the PS3 while having 4 back buttons, so you can have a more comfortable time playing first-person shooters without having to use your thumb on the actual face keys. Again, the joystick sensitivity does require getting used to, or within each individual game, you'll just have to lower the sensitivity within the settings. But other than that, I actually quite enjoy this controller, especially for the PS3. If you like to play the older PlayStation 3 and have trouble finding a controller nowadays, definitely check this controller out. I would say for the Nintendo Switch, look for a proper Bluetooth controller so you can use the Switch in portable mode. If you would like to check out the controller, you can check the description in the link below. I also have a coupon code, Unbox Burrito, that you can use at checkout. Once again, thanks for watching.